The exact same forces that lead people to reevaluate their relationships sometimes lead people to say, I've just decided life is short and I don't want to be in this relationship.
This is In the Loop. I'm Christian Bryant. It's a core concept in countless love stories.
For better or for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
Patrick Brewer, you are my happy ending.
But in reality, marriage rates have been dropping for decades. Don't look at me. If the idea is so much a part of American culture and a goal in life for many people, why is it that fewer people are tying the knot? Tonight, we're looking into some of the factors driving the drop in marriages and how shifting ideas have led to other ways of spending forever together. Many psychologists believe the lower marriage rates have to do with shifting cultural norms. For starters, there's this idea of cohabitation. These days, just under 70% of adults believe it is acceptable to live together even if they don't plan on getting married. That wasn't the case back in the day. Just ask older relatives, they'll let you know. Some states also have common law marriages, which can give you some of the benefits of marriage after living together for a certain amount of time. The exact rules vary by state, and in some places, common law marriages don't even require a marriage license. In the 1950s, the median age for women to get married was around 20 years old. Now, that number is closer to 30. While more Americans are increasingly putting off marriage, it doesn't mean it won't happen for some people. They're just on a different timeline. In 2019, a Pew Research study found many single adults felt little to no pressure to be in a committed relationship from friends, family, or society. And there's a shifting mindset around starting a family. Supreme Court decisions in the 1960s and 1970s increased the rights of children born out of wedlock to financial support and inheritance. So there's no Jon Snow of it all.
It's not a good life for a child.
Then there's also the fact that just 29% of people surveyed in 2020 believed it was important for a couple to marry if they have a child. In 2006, that was closer to 50%. It's hard to say how long this drop in marriages will last, but we know another factor which has historically caused marriage trends to fluctuate: significant moments in American history. Marriage rates dropped during the Great Depression, and they reached an all-time high when the country came out of World War II. So what impact has the COVID-19 pandemic had on relationships, for better or worse? Newsy's Amber Strong explains.
Hey, Christian, it's hard to pin down the exact impact COVID-19 had on romantic relationships, whether people were running to the altar or divorce court. Through richer, poorer, and global pandemics,
love conquers all.
In 2019, Claire Bokel and her high school sweetheart of nearly a decade were ready to tie the knot. They set a date, May 2020.
I just remember no one was flying, no one was leaving their house. That was when we decided we had to, postpone this huge wedding that we had invited 300 people to.
The couple decided to have two weddings, something small immediately and a bigger bash later.
I wore a fun white dress. My mom picked flowers from her garden, and it was only our immediate family.
Bokel's story coincides with early reports suggesting a rise in people racing to the altar during the pandemic. At the same time, early 2020 data, mostly from divorce attorneys and legal sites, reported an uptick not just in marriages, but also in divorce. Fast forward to 2021, and researchers say maybe not.
So in the 9 states that we had available, there were over 48,000 fewer marriages than we would have expected to see.
Krista Payne and the team at the National Center for Family and Marriage Research have been tracking marriage and divorce trends for years and say among the states with available data so far, monthly divorce filings were also down in 2020.
The 5 states that we had for divorce were New Hampshire, Oregon, Florida, Missouri, and Arizona. And for them, we saw a reduction of nearly 16,000 divorces.
Ben Carney, a social psychology professor at UCLA, says there could be a few explanations for that, like people postponing their weddings. And when it comes to divorce,
if you can't leave the house, you can't break up. You have nowhere to go.
Plus, divorces take time, so any increases caused by the weight of the pandemic may not be readily available for at least a year. However, Carney says throughout history, crises force couples to reevaluate their relationships, good or bad. COVID-19 added the extra dynamic of being home together 24/7 or apart much more.
The people who are in good relationships say, wow, I better hold on to this good relationship. And you see cohabiting couples getting married, you see married couples having kids. The exact same forces that lead people to reevaluate their relationships sometimes lead people to say, I've just decided life is short and I don't want to be in this relationship.
Now, Christian, Dr. Carney compares that pent-up demand for marriages and divorces to sort of putting a kink in a water hose. So once things return to normal and you let go of the hose, expect an explosion of both marriages and divorces. Back to you.
Marriage is a well-known traditional form of commitment, but it's common for people to explore different types of relationships, like consensual non-monogamy, or C&M. A survey from the Institute for Family Studies found millennials and Gen Xers were way more open and accepting of C&M than older generations. And naturally, a part of that conversation should include polyamory. It's the practice of being in multiple romantic relationships with the consent of all parties involved. And social media is shedding light on this type of setup. Here to talk to us more about all things poly is Newsy's Cody LeGros.
Now, Christian, you know, this ain't my first rodeo when it comes to polyamory, okay? I think you may remember
Right.
Caroline and company. Do you remember them?
So, Caroline, you have a wife and a boyfriend.
I do.
I most certainly remember Caroline and Company. One, that was one of the first series that you did for Newsy, and two, it has truly laid the foundation for all the things we're going to talk about today.
It has. It gave me a good knowledge base. So I first reported on polyamory 5 years ago, and a lot has changed since then. So a 2021 study revealed that 1 in 9 Americans have tried polyamory, and 1 in 6 are interested in trying it, and 1 in 15 know someone in a polyamorous relationship. Now, back in the day when I first started reporting on this, finding people who were openly talking about polyamory was a little more complicated than it was today, okay? And I remember scouring Tumblr and Blogspot just to find people openly discussing it, and today, you just need TikTok to expand your horizons on what a relationship and family can look like.
People said having a baby would be really hard, but we've been sharing the responsibilities really well.
I made the milk.
I feed them.
And I birthed the baby. Together, it's been pretty easy.
Yeah, a lot of people said it was going to be super hard. Man, this is a breeze.
Polyamory relationships rocks.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's called a polycule.
Excellent observation, Christian. A polycule is what we call a polyamorous unit, okay? So their names are Cha-Cha, Jimmy, and Summer, and they got a new baby, okay? So it just having a newborn alone defies those types of, salacious stereotypes of people in polyamorous relationships. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine the types of questions they get, Christian. That's why, this triad has over 650,000 followers on TikTok, because people are interested and they're demystifying polyamory to the masses and sharing what they're learning along the way, even when followers question their legitimacy.
We've been together for almost 9 years, all 3 of us. So I don't think like a comment on Instagram or something's gonna, persuade us anyway. But that's very common. People just think like, this isn't real, or it's not gonna last long.
How has TikTok allowed you to clear up some of those misconceptions that you encounter?
At first, I thought we were swingers. Like, that's the label that I thought, like, in the beginning when me and her started dating girls. I didn't know about polyamory or about poly, like, not until we dated her. She was like, no, you guys are not swingers. You guys are actually polyamorous. We're actually all together polyamorous. Yeah.
I was big on Tumblr, so I knew a lot of the terminology and stuff. But again, there really wasn't much other than definitions. There was like no advice, no real people that you could be like, hey, if this happens, or if I feel this way, what do I do with that feeling? It's just, there's so much in monogamous like relationship advice and not enough, I think, for our dynamic. So we really had to like pave that way and create it.
You guys have a beautiful new baby in the world. How does being in a polycule just kind of impact parenting.
We're able to like share the feedings, and you know, if Chacha has to like pump, I can help feed, or Jimmy can help like change diapers, and kind of like taking over the roles of parenting, I think help a lot. You know, like if me or Chacha can't like get the car seat in the car, Jimmy can help like with some muscle, and like there's roles that we can all like share and fill, and that's something we also do well, like in our relationship, like not one person really wears the pants, we all kind of like share all the roles. So we've been able to do that so far so good with the baby, and just hearing like all the other moms out there that are like, oh, I wish, you know, I could have that. And I follow these pregnancy pages, and they're like, you know, oh, you should have a wife instead of a husband if you want to help with certain things. And I'm like, well, why not have both?
So you guys have been in a relationship for 9 years. I mean, what is the secret sauce to keeping your partners happy?
I think communication, like just constant communication. Like it doesn't matter what we're doing. If one of us starts like disagreeing, we'll stop whatever we're doing and we'll sit down, literally like on a table like this, and we'll start talking.
And a lot of people don't understand that dynamic. They think it's just all fun and, you know, have the whole threesome and whatever it is, you know, and that's really part of it, but not ideally the whole idea behind a polyamory relationship.
So that's the best takeaway, Christian. At the end of the day, these are relationships. And like any relationship, whether that be with a partner, a relative, or a colleague, communication should be the foundation if you want it to succeed.
That's the truth. And, you know, I'm going to waterboard myself later for saying this, but love is love is love is love is love, man, right?
It is love, and love is a phone call. Love is a text message. Love is having those uncomfortable conversations. So you got my number, Christian. You give me a call anytime.
I was about to say, I was like, are you throwing me hints right now? I'll make sure to do my wellness check this weekend then. Cody LeGros, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it, man.
Always a pleasure.
When you're back, we're taking you to dating's next frontier, virtual reality.